I am very well aware that the video I did where I said this is the good news for March 13th was pretty bleak. This video is pretty much all bad news, but it will end on a happy note. I promise that. So let's dive in. Let's go. Um, so I chose the hashtag war of choice. And I didn't even, in the back of my mind, I didn't remember the fact that I had read Richard Haas's book, where he wrote the book back in 2003 about the Iraq War, of which he called it Wars of Necessity, Wars of Choice. So the fact that I'm using Wars of Choice as my hashtag with Trump in this war, it goes back to this. And I didn't even realize that it was this until I saw this quote. And by the way, a shout out to Taken Goddard, who does Political Wire. Everything except for this slide is all from him. So thank you, Taken, for curating stuff that I can use here. Switzerland. Switzerland declares that Trump's attack on Iran is a violation of international law. It's the first time Switzerland has taken a side in a conflict since 1815. Yeah, we brought the Swiss out against us. Woohoo! Mm, oops. Okay. Um, Trump's Iran war whiplash clouds U.S. endgame. U.S. has no endgame. If you listen to Trump over the past couple of days, there's no endgame. What Trump is doing very well is moving the goalposts. So it is regime change. It is we degrade their military. It changes from one day to the next. Not even one day to the next, 1 hour to the next, what the goalposts are. And so that's what he's really good at. Iran's sea mines are one of its most powerful weapons. Sea mines are super cheap. And congratulations, President Trump. You have done the thing that every previous president has not done to Iran because they all knew this is something that is their ultimate weapon against the world. Congratulations, President Trump. Um, so the closing the Strait of Hormuz raises the specter of a prolonged closure. Yeah, because once those mines go in the water, it will take time, a lot of time, to clear those mines up. War against Iran expands in Lebanon. This goes back to my supposed happy video where I talked about Salalah getting attacked. Iran is running proxy wars. They've decided that we don't even want to fight a conventional war. We want to fight an unconventional war. And so there's more killing going on in Lebanon right now than is actually going on in Iran or the Gulf world. So, yeah, black rain could trigger respiratory problems, warns the World Health Organization after strikes on Iran oil sites. Okay, um, that black rain would not be, you know, acid rain does not just hit where it gets polluted. Acid rain hits wherever the rain goes from there. So this environmental disaster is not just Iran because the weather doesn't stay over Iran. So yeah. Um, Again, on behalf of everyone in the Middle East, thank you, President Trump. Thank you. Trump's new spin on spiking oil prices. President Trump is trying to say that, hey, since America produces the most oil in the world, having oil prices go to $100, $120, $150, we're going to benefit because we have the biggest oil producers. We're the biggest oil producer in the world. So it's all great for us. USA, USA. Other headline here that's worth talking about is the new Supreme Leader is issues a defiant statement. Okay, it is true if you're seeing things out there that we're not sure if the if Khomeini's son is actually alive or they're issuing statements on his behalf. We don't know. It doesn't matter whether we know. It's the fact that Let me go on to the next one. Oh, oil topping $100 a barrel. Sorry, it's a little out of order for what I expected. Yeah, for the record, as much as the price of oil going up and the price of gas going up bothers you, be happy you're not a farmer. Actually, you should be happier you if you're a farmer because Trump's going to do everything to bail you out. But the price of diesel has already spiked. And the price of fertilizer, not exaggerating, because I was talking to a guy who sells fertilizer or monitors selling fertilizer for a living. The price of fertilizer in the past week has tripled. I was talking with a farming friend of mine who was like, at this point, if I have to buy fertilizer at this price, my profit for the year is wiped out before I even plant a seed because the cost of fertilizer will wipe out whatever profit I could have. Um, why the Iranian regime is safe is that Iran is exporting more oil today than it was before the war, and they're getting a higher price for the oil they're exporting. So Iran's doing fine. Don't let the media in America tell you otherwise. Iran's doing fine. So any claims that the Iranian government is at risk of collapse is utter bullshit. It just is. I don't. I don't. This is not Steve Kranz, the liberal Democrat, saying that. It's just find me the nonpartisan person who will tell you otherwise. They're yeah. Now I want to switch to good news because really I did know that this is going to be a really bad news video. Um, I appreciate this, and since one of my besties is Stacy, she's going to see this. Anyhow, she's from Italy. I appreciate the fact that Italy, who the leader of Italy, to be clear, is a far right-wing leader who Trump endorsed. So this is from a country where Trump's leader endorsed her. Um, yeah, two-thirds of Italians do not want to support the U.S. in this war of choice at all. Um, Yet another election back in the United States where the Democrats way overperformed. Yay, yay. And then finally, um, Nepal had an election last week, and and so you can see this, and I'm going to end the share. This is our last picture. Um, Nepal is my spiritual home. I can't say more than that because if I say more than that, I'm going to cry. Nepal is my spiritual home. And so I follow everything there very closely. The fact they've just elected a Gen Z leader. Nepal happens to be one of the most educated places on the planet. So Gen Z is incredibly well educated. And they've also had one of the most corrupt government series of corrupt governments. And I've been following this closely since 2008. So I follow their politics very closely. I want to believe there is something good that's going to come from this because I want to be hopeful. I really do. And I swear to anybody watching this, if you've not visited Nepal, it has to go on the top of your bucket list. Find a way to visit Nepal, and I can connect you to people who will make sure that you have a great visit to Nepal. Wow. So for my bad news video, I end on an upbeat note. Who knew? See you tomorrow.